What if you could grow your business on LinkedIn without needing thousands of followers? Today, Kayla Ihrig shares how to make LinkedIn work for you in just 30 minutes a day.
LinkedIn, it's not totally fair to think of it as content marketing. I think you need to think of it as relationship marketing. Now we're really moving into, I think it's the relationship economy, and LinkedIn is the best place to build that. You don't need a massive following. That is the secret of LinkedIn that I think I wish everyone knew.
Welcome back. Today's guest is Kayla Ihrig, founder of Writing from Nowhere, where she helps entrepreneurs grow their visibility and revenue on LinkedIn without needing a massive following. So in this episode, we're going to be breaking down how do we make LinkedIn work for you with clear positioning, simple daily actions, and some content that will actually connect with your audience. Welcome, Kayla.
Thanks for having me, Chelsea. And I love the addition of you don't need a massive following. That is the secret of LinkedIn that I think I wish everyone knew.
It is overwhelming when you see folks who have huge followings and you're like, ugh, I'm never going to get that. Why do I even bother?
Yeah. Everyone likes to brag about how big their following is. And I feel like I like to brag about how small my following is and what I've gotten with the fewer than 4,000 followers. To me, that's the brag.
Yes. I just saw a post yesterday that was like, you're better off having 4,000, scratch that, 400 followers who really love you and engage with your content than having a huge, massive following. So I'm excited to dive into that point. Why do you think so many smart people who are really great at their job avoid LinkedIn or maybe feel overwhelmed by it?
I think it has the vibe of an awkward networking event if you're following the wrong people, because your feed, it's like any other social platform. Your feed is totally different from the feed of the person sitting next to you in a co-working space. And your feed it can just be the wrong room that you're in where you feel uncomfortable. It's your old coworkers from jobs. Let's be real. It's kind of like the ex, like if this were dating, it's like a room full of your exes. And that's how LinkedIn feels if you haven't followed people outside of your work history.
Do you think that, how do you curate a new feed if you're feeling like that right now?
I would look for people on LinkedIn. I'll call them influencers, but it's not quite the right word. Thought leaders. I would look for big names who post often. Amelia, Sordell, Jasmin, Alić, Laura Acosta, Matt Barker. There's a couple people. We can drop links maybe in the description for people who are posting daily, who are all about LinkedIn's magic. And they're not there to just kind of cash out, post their stuff, get their followers. It's all about the engagement and the community.
That's awesome. How does LinkedIn differ from other platforms?
LinkedIn, it's not totally fair to think of it as content marketing. I think that's the big differentiator. I think you need to think of it as relationship marketing in building your friendship 401k, as a professional networker, Adam Connors taught me that saying. And I think it's more important than ever because with AI, it's so easy to we're seeing this AI avatars, fake accounts on other social platforms completely run by AI.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're really moving into, I think it's the relationship economy, and LinkedIn is the best place to build that because so few people are active. LinkedIn is huge, but it is not crowded.
Mm-hmm.
The stage is wide open. So few people post regularly. I think it's less than 1% of people post daily. Compare that to Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or anywhere else. That is radical.
It's a lot quieter, or at least less crowded of a stage for you to get on and just say one thing or two things.
Absolutely.
How did you start with LinkedIn? What's your origin story here?
I don't know why I started posting there. I think it felt kind of, in a way, it felt cozy because it was old coworkers, and I've been self-employed since 2017. So I long for that feeling of coworkers sometimes. And I posted there life updates, traveling, moving abroad. And then I realized that there was this whole undercurrent of people who were building their entire brands on LinkedIn. And I just fell down that rabbit hole and loved it. And I loved the engagement. It wasn't fake bots. Like Instagram for me, I was active on Instagram for years, and it was never, I never got past the bot thing where my posts were flooded with bot comments, bot likes, bot DMs, follows. And my account has been deactivated. Well, it's still alive because I DM with certain friend groups there, but it's like there's no photo, there's no posts, anything. And I still get tons of bot follows every day. And that is, I don't know, LinkedIn just felt remarkably authentic to me.
Fewer bots, fewer fake accounts, maybe. There's still some.
There are still some, and some people are using AI in a really gross way that everybody collectively hates. I don't know why people insist on using AI for things that it's not good at.
Yes.
But that's another topic perhaps. But I started posting in 2022, and that's when it kind of snowballed for me as I got clients, media features, a book deal came to me through LinkedIn, real friends. Yeah, it's been my favorite platform.
That's amazing. So let's talk about how folks listening can position, build their profile, and start seeing results like you did. What's a simple win that most people are missing?
Commenting.
Oh,
Commenting on other people's posts is
okay.
the way to grow on LinkedIn.
Do we know why? Or is
I think, well, from an algorithm standpoint, if you aren't commenting on and engaging with the platform, your posts fall really, really flat. Instagram has a similar, a lot of people say, you know, post for 15 minutes or engage for 15 minutes, then post. It is make or break on LinkedIn for a post. So algorithm forces your hand, but I think it's also just the nature of the platform that people are actually sending DMs and commenting. And I hop on calls on Fridays. I call it Friendly Friday, where I hop on a coffee chats with people. That's a LinkedIn term. It's a 15-minute, no pitching, just getting to know, go from the keyboards to real faces and talk for 15 minutes over video about work. Where do you live? What are you having for breakfast? Like, it's real. And commenting is like just the bread and butter of that.
wow, is this live on LinkedIn or you meet the people through LinkedIn?
I meet the people through LinkedIn, and it's not live. They're always personal conversations.
Oh, that's so fun.
I have a nice comment here I pulled up a bit of wisdom from one of LinkedIn's big names, Jasmin. Alić. He shared recently in a post that 95% of his time when he was growing on the platform was spent supporting other posts. And this is an exact quote. He said that the result was an unignorable presence.
Wow.
I thought that was really, really, I mean, that says it all.
There are some people that I follow. Maybe I didn't even know them. I was like, oh, that's a neat post. I'll follow George. And then I start seeing George's comments, and my whole feed became what George was doing that day. And I was like, who is this? I just followed because I liked that post. Who is this George guy? And then I was like, who is George? It went a level deeper. But I could see how that. Now I see what happened. He was commenting.
Yeah.
He was unignorable.
He was unignorable. And whenever you see George, this is a difference between LinkedIn and other platforms. Whenever you saw George's comments on these posts, you didn't just see his name. You saw his name, his photo, and his headline. So every time you comment, it's you're visible on these threads. So let's say you're engaging with a thought leader, Mel Robbins, and then you comment. Everyone who's following and reading Mel Robbins posts, if they're reading the comments, they're seeing and people are reading the comments because everybody knows that this is the, lifeblood of LinkedIn. So your comments is a platform. Your posts will get thousands of views. Your comments will get tens of thousands. And they actually have impressions listed on each one. If you haven't been on LinkedIn in a few years, that's going to be a surprise for you. But you can see how many eyeballs did this comment get me.
And you can see your own. So I can see 600 people saw that comment, but not everybody sees. Or
Absolutely.
does
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. Now you're making me wonder. No, I think
great.
that'd be very distracting. I'm sure I would have noticed if I could see that.
Everyone's judging the views of everyone else's comments.
Oh no.
So you mentioned the headline. This brings us into like the profile. And I've tried ChatGPT, other things. I know people pay thousands of dollars to have somebody redo their profile because it is worth it sometimes. But what should we be doing on our profile? What are some of the biggest mistakes being made?
Not editing your profile from back in the day. Like maybe you got a job 10 years ago and you wrote some stuff in there about it and you've never revisited. I would say don't overthink your profile. Don't overthink the about section or the description of your jobs. Just make it clear and never be funny. I use LinkedIn as well as using it for myself. I use it as a writer I write for HubSpot, Success Magazine, GoDaddy. So I am seeking out expert sources as a journalist. And I'm using LinkedIn to find people. And it is painful whenever I find someone. I'll find someone, on a random Tuesday. And instead of saying, ads, I managed $100 million in ads. I was an ads, search engine ads, whatever, consultant. They're like, search engine wizard. Like, well, I couldn't find you, could I? Because
Yeah.
why would I be looking for wizards? So be clear, use normal language, and that's the best thing you can do. And also adding links. I've been doing free audits for people's accounts, and that is probably the biggest thing I see everybody missing is that they'll say, I'm a writer, I've written 100 posts for HubSpot, but they don't have a single link to a post. And it really breaks up your experience section. On top of, showing instead of telling, it also breaks up all of that text into really engaging. Like your profile instantly looks better than other people's if you have links showing proof of your work.
Wow.
You can
I'm
also put a
starting.
PDF. Doesn't have to be public. A Google Doc. It could be anything.
Oh, okay. And that would be in each role that you had, you'd put it in there, or would it be in the about section?
That would be in each role.
Okay.
And in the about section, I would just keep it brief. Focus on what your big offer is right now. I know a lot of people who are self-employed, you have a couple projects, something that you do sometime. Like we all have multiple pots on the stove.
Mhm.
I would say don't feel like you need to explain all of them. Just focus on what you want clients. What's your number one priority, and have that reflected in the about and your headline as well. Your headline can change every day. You could change it to something new.
I have changed it about 7 times this month because I'm like, that doesn't feel right. Or I changed it from something cute, like I'm a silo slayer. I was like, no one knows what the hell that means. To I went from this to this in revenue, and it feels so braggy. So, but you mentioned that's kind of what you should do is just say what you've done.
Yes. And I loved your headline, by the way. I looked at it before the show and I thought it made you sound amazing. So it fit the bill.
It was many iterations with my little chat GPT. I was like, that sounds too this, let's do this. And it came, and then I merge a bunch and give it my own touch because I don't want to sound like a robot,
I
which
would say, well, so you're using ChatGPT to help now. We're all using ChatGPT to sound more human. How did that happen?
eh,
I would say if you're feeling like the headline is stopping you from moving forward, put in your top role, like marketer, I don't know, SEO writer, freebie. Like SEO writer, come get a free checklist. Just keep it simple. And some people will put a lot in their headline. I don't think it always is better, but it's not, it's not chemistry. Nothing will explode if you add the wrong ingredient.
hmm. Can you share a story of where somebody got real results from little shifts on their profile or their activity on LinkedIn?
Yeah, absolutely. Working as a journalist, I find people all the time through their headline keywords and searching through. I guess that wasn't a specific example, but
It's
I'm
happening a
trying.
lot. Like every day in your life, you're finding people
Yes.
that way.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't even have their contact info. Like that's one of the things. A journalist can't contact you if they don't have your info. So these little tweaks. I'm trying to think if one person comes to mind, but I've reached out to so many people on the platform.
Well, yours
And my
did.
and myself as well. Yeah, for my book deal, the publisher found me because they were looking for people talking about digital nomadism, and I was posting about that, and they were searching for that. And one post brought them to my profile, to my to one post I made. They found me, came to my profile, went to my website, and then sent me a cold DM asking if I wanted to talk about a book deal. And I thought it was spam, so I ignored it for 3 weeks. And then they were like, hello, do you want to talk about this?
This is
And
real.
I thought they were trying to sell me. I didn't think it was spam. I was completely convinced that they were like a coach trying to sell me on how they could help me get a book deal.
Or let me write the book for you and I'll charge you 300,000. I don't know. There are a lot of spammy type of messages you can get in LinkedIn,
Yes,
which
it's a
is a
little bit less now because they now limit how many DM requests you can send or how many. So you used to be able to send unlimited connection requests with messages,
mm,
and they now limit that to 5 a month. So an unfortunate, I mean, a good side effect was that there's a lot less spam, because spammers are not necessarily paying for that.
Mhm.
But it's also a little bit harder to connect with people. You used to be able to send 100 a day if you wanted, and now it's very limited. But the
Mm.
career package of LinkedIn is, I think it's $30 a month, and you can send unlimited personal connection requests. And that's an important note, that if you're sending anonymous, random connection requests, people are very unlikely to accept that request.
Yeah. I've done that when I've tried. I've just been like, "Oh, be my friend, be my friend." And it's like, this is silly. This is not the way to do it.
Well, you also follow people automatically when you send a connection request if you aren't following them already. So it's
Mhm.
not like nothing comes of that, because if you're really interested, then you'll see more of their content. But it's easy to overlook that little step. And don't send it from your phone, because it automatically sends the connection request without a message. So always connect with people on your computer.
There's a lot of nuggets. So if you're listening, you got to like pause and write these things down. We'll put it in the description too. But what was your favorite aha moment when you started auditing profiles?
A lot of people are impossible to contact. I think that's very interesting. Even someone who writes for a very big name, actually Terry Rice, I'm sure he wouldn't mind me sharing that. He writes for Entrepreneur, and he's very big, and he sent me a DM and he said, I realized after reading your post that I don't have contact info. So thank you. And I've added that now. And because people don't want to be spammed, but a part of being reachable is that I can email you and say, hey, urgence.
Mhm.
If you want to be featured in this article, in this magazine article, this whatever today, I need you to call me or get back to me. Doesn't have to be your phone number, but if
An
you can't be
email.
reached, you can't be featured. And a lot of opportunities are going to slip by, because not everyone is paying for the LinkedIn premium where they can message you with that personal message. So a lot of people are going to be very interested in what you do, maybe potential clients, but they are not paying, so they can't personally reach out to you. So then they're going to reach out via email.
And the days of our email addresses being a secret are gone anyways with Zoom info and all Apollo, all these things. So everybody already has your cell phone and your email address. You might as well put it where someone who's looking for it can find it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you just block spammers. I mean, I wouldn't let that fear hold you back.
Mhm. So we've got the profile all set. We know we should dabble and it's worth it. Make some comments. What's some content that we can do? So, how important is even posting on LinkedIn?
Posting without commenting it's not going to go anywhere. Your post will fall very flat. So if you're already pairing it with commenting, posting is very impactful if it inspires actual conversation. It's not a post and ghost, set it and forget it thing. You really want people to be able to interact with your content as easily as possible. So asking easy questions. Jasmin Alić, who I mentioned earlier, he is like the king of LinkedIn engagement. He will ask a question in the post, and then he'll ask like 3 more questions in the comments. Like, this is this thing about my first job that I still use today, and then what was your first job? And then in the comments he'll say, what was your worst job? So he's making it really, really easy to engage.
Mm.
And I think that that is something that's really fundamentally different, because you wouldn't want an Instagram post living on your grid, on your feed, that's just talking about your day or your childhood or your first job. That would feel a little bit off brand for a lot of people, because Instagram is so curated. That's more stories material, I guess.
Mhm.
And that material does really well. Like posting your work setup for the day. Hey, I'm working on audits. You can still be about your work. Like, I could post a picture of my setup here. I've got my computer stacked up on books. My microphone is on like 3 dictionaries. And I could post a picture of this and say, this is my work setup for the day. I'm doing an awesome podcast interview about LinkedIn. What are you doing? And that
Will
is
you do
actually
that? Let's do
starting.
that, and then we'll comment. I know this is the actual post is gonna come out way before the episode, but we'll link to the post in the
Okay,
description.
perfect. We'll take
Take
a
a picture right
picture.
now.
All right. Here, wait, let me get my phone. Not curated at all. There we go. Okay, you ready? Smiling. Okay, that was really cute. Amazing. Not curated at all. There's like a rapper in the background, but that's okay. That's what it's about.
I'm getting help with TikTok, like learning how to use TikTok from a gal who was on the first episode ever. Her name's Dee. She runs the sales loft. And she's like, you need to start taking just pausing with your guests and doing for a second because you have no thumbnails that you can do. It's little things like that that I'm like, I need to learn from people who know this stuff. So thanks for doing the thumbnail.
Yes, casual photos as well are real, like, bread and butter, and people seeing your face, and I remember one day in my old apartment, there was a gas leak, and I had to come work at my in-laws, and their cat liked to sit, like, on my computer, right,
Mhm.
as cats do,
Yes.
and I posted a picture like, "How am I supposed to get work done today?" I think that was my top post of the year because everyone could relate, and I was like, "But do pets make working from home better or worse?" And that was a flurry of discussion. And another post once, I asked people, "Well, how tall are you?" Because if you met me in real life, it's the first thing you would be like, "Wow, you're so tall." I'm 6 feet tall.
Wow.
I'm very tall, and if we met in real life, you would know that in a second, but I can be friends with someone online for 5 years, and they have never realized this about me. And the height that the comments were so interesting. There was someone who was, like, 3 feet tall all the way up to, like, 7 feet. I mean, it was a very interesting it's human. That's
Uh-huh.
what takes off is the human thing. And yes, you'll see people who are having their accounts explode talking about copywriting tips and sales, and it's amazing, but I think that whenever you're new, you need to start by genuinely connecting with people and tie it back to your work. Take a desk pic, talk about what you do in the morning. Morning routines, right? That's
Mhm.
personal, and it's a hot topic that people love to discuss.
Yep.
Don't
If
jump
you
straight in to 5 things that you're missing about your website's policy page.
if you're shy, and so I did that. I jumped right into, like, things that are salesy, and then I was like, "Eh, ease it off." But if you're shy and you don't like your face being out there, that's why I did that other stuff. It takes getting used to. How can you put yourself out there without being if you're shy? Like, how can you do something like that?
I think that you should start by hanging out on the platform every day and learning how from how other people show up, who it's not flashy. A lot of people don't show their faces. There's also you're going to mix with people from wide cultural spread. So showing faces is not like I have connections on LinkedIn who of with women who wear burqas and I feel like I know them so well. Like all you see there, but it's I don't know, seeing their desk, their day, their breakfast.
Mhm.
So it doesn't have to be your face, but it does have to be you.
Okay. This we've touched on this a few times throughout. I was going to say the call, the AI aspect, and if posting's important, commenting is important. How should you and shouldn't you leverage your little friend ChatGPT when using LinkedIn?
You should not use any AI bot to write comments for you. That's the fast track to being blocked because people really don't like it. I would say use AI to help you come up with ideas to post if you're stuck, but don't let it write for you because voice matters so much. It's still a very text based platform, and we can all tell. If you're scrolling on LinkedIn for 30 minutes a day, we can tell the 40% of people who use ChatGPT. It's
It's it,
painful.
it's not that you're using ChatGPT for everything. It's that you're using it for your posts with a
Yeah.
dash in the middle. That's the I just said a ChatGPT. It's not that dash. It's that it's like, "Oh, stop. No." I just saw that
Delve.
post 7 times by 8 different companies
Yeah,
and
and it's
people.
just a plagiarism machine. I mean,
Mhm,
it's fine to use it. I use it to edit for me as a writer. I am not anti AI. I have improved my writing a lot, asking it to act as an editor and go back and forth with me. But why would you surrender your voice, your ideas, your
mhm.
words, your keyboard? Don't give it the keyboard. Ask it to navigate, but don't give it the keyboard.
And you could say, "Hey," so it gives you the ideas. Say, "Make 8 ideas for me for the next month." And then you write them, and then you could put it in and say, "Can you help me edit this?" How do you what kind of prompts do you say when you want it to edit? Like, "Make this snappier," or
I use it to edit my articles and I tell it to act as an editor for whatever publication. And I tell it focus on tone, lack of clarity, mistakes. And I always instruct it because it never remembers. ChatGPT wants to bulldoze you. It's that friend that's like overly enthusiastic and bulldozes you into whatever they want to do. I always tell it, do not write for me. Give me feedback as an editor. And it'll go and say, section one, this was unclear. That was a typo, and that for me is where it's making me a better writer. Or sometimes I'll just give it a paragraph that's really bad. Or in this
Mhm.
case, a LinkedIn post that's really bad. And you say, this just feels off. Act as an editor and give me feedback to help me improve it. And then you develop your own skill set. instead of atrophying their writing and editing skill set.
I'm going to start using that.
And a flipped script as well. Is it a flipped interaction where you tell ChatGPT, let's say you have all these great ideas for prompts or for posts about sales tips, and you tell ChatGPT, let's do a flipped script interaction where you are going to ask me questions. And the goal is LinkedIn posts in my voice that I'm writing. And you can learn more. That's like a specific type of prompt. And I love using that. Like I'll write for an hour sometimes. I was coming up with a whole business plan on a Saturday night, as one does. You know, you like get this idea for like a hot dog stand outside. Yeah, okay. Popcorn stand was the real idea.
I would love it. Like you could go get different flavors. Tell me more. Popcorn's
Yeah.
my favorite snack.
Thank you. I miss popcorn. So I moved to the Netherlands and popcorn is not really a thing here. And I miss it. And it's been like 6 years and I still can't get over it. So I'm thinking, and then I found out that renting there's like a market 3 days a week in the city center. And I found out that it's only $20 to rent a thing there to sell. And I can't get over it. I'm like, translating the application for the,
There's
the
a gap in the
kiosk.
market, and for $20 a day, you can fill it.
Thank you. See,
You
I was consumed for like 4 days. So to chat me, I'm spending hours writing with ChatGPT, and it's like, what do you want for this? What about the branding? What flavors? And it's asking me, and I'm answering all of the questions. That's like thousands of words later. You know, it's like it's the worst case scenario for a Saturday night whenever you get this like creative high. And I also never ending shortage as a writer. I feel like I could, if with a cup of coffee, it could be midnight and I could sit there and write 5,000 words.
That's so fun. This is a
But the flip,
gift
yeah.
and a curse. A gift
Come
mostly.
come visit and try my popcorn. In
I
6
mean,
months. I wanna launch in 6 months.
we'll do a whole episode about this. Sorry, this is a rabbit hole away from the LinkedIn folks, but like if you could get the popcorn over there, then you have your own supply that you get to the Netherlands and it's right off somehow. I don't know how, but we'll figure it out. And then it's there. If
It's
no one
very
buys
l
it, you at
I
least
know.
have it.
And then I eat it. Like, there's no losing. I literally see it this way, and I know that I could at least sell it to all the Americans in this country because
Oh yeah.
popcorn is like, I mean, you just miss it. They have it, but it's salted, it's never buttered, and yeah, it's a sore spot, but very low overhead business.
Yes. Okay.
How do we get back to LinkedIn
Well,
now? I mean
this is how I would get back. Now, say you were launching this popcorn business and you're an entrepreneur. What's more valuable? Is it posting about it on your personal LinkedIn page or starting a business page on LinkedIn and posting all about it on there?
without a doubt, posting on your personal page is more impactful. It's just basic psychology that people are more interested in an individual and what they say than a company. And people are much less likely to interact. It shows up less on the feed and the algorithm. It's just in every way better to post from your own page. And if I was really starting when I start this popcorn page, I would also share the journey from the idea. Like, hey, here's a picture. I got my first shipment of kernel. This actually is hard to say with a straight face. I would share it. The build in public idea, if you're familiar with that, that is huge on LinkedIn. And that alone is if you're building something and you're still in the early stages, that could be your next year of content. Like you don't have to ask yourself, what do I post on LinkedIn? You just share the updates of building whatever you're building.
Yep. And you just have to get okay with being floppy and messy in front of people.
Yeah.
But if you do that, all the entrepreneurs that I interview here or that I see that are publicly being like, "Oh, that didn't work," or "I tried this thing," and those are the folks that are growing faster because people are really interested and engaged with this journey.
There is nothing more interesting than a failure that someone's willing to share, and not just in the kind of rubbernecking, driving past a car crash, but it's interesting because it's such a secret and it's so rare to see honesty about failures.
Or just sometimes it feels like LinkedIn, when you scroll, can just be everybody's wins posted. So breaking through the noise with something honest or really personal about your popcorn business, I can see that stopping the scroll.
Yeah, and not making everything about business as well, I think. I saw a post about how someone's mom died, and they were like, "What it taught me about sales." And it almost feels like satire. Like,
Like The Onion.
crossover. Yes, or SNL took
Yeah.
over or LinkedIn for the day. And it shouldn't all be business. A lot of it should be personal because so much of our lives, even at work, I mean, the office is kind of a distant memory for me at this point, but so much of it is personal. And whenever you're working remote, self-employed, if you're alone, you can't just show people the headshots of you in your blazer looking, sharp and snazzy. I was gonna say hot. I should have just said hot. Looking hot.
Yeah.
You've got to show the messy bun. It's just so much more real, and everybody knows that that side exists. Nobody thinks that Taylor Swift doesn't have a bad day. We all know, and we would love to see what that's like.
Yeah. And Instagram is very polished too. That would be one difference between so what I'm learning this year is TikTok is messy, messy, messy. Like no lights, just raw camera at your face, not even a microphone, just this is what effing sucked today. Then you go to TikTok, Instagram, and it's like a polished feed. You might have a post or two, but it's all there's a look, there's a feel, there's a vibe to it. And then LinkedIn is like somehow marrying the two, but also it's just worky stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like that.
no, that's the best summary. And a lot of selfies on LinkedIn, sometimes people will complain about it, like, "Oh, it's just selfies," and it's just whatever. People will grump about it, and I love that because it's not curated. It's really like literally a picture of me sitting at my computer today, and that resonates. It makes people feel like you're real. If they see enough photos of your face that are not taken the same day, that was another piece of feedback I gave in one of my audits last week, was that if you only use photo shoot images for like a year, I wonder, do you even look like this anymore? Is your hair the same? I mean, I've had the same haircut for 10 years, but I think most people are not like that.
Mine changes a lot, as you can see. It's growing
You've
out.
got to
But
keep the people updated on these things.
yeah, I like to keep them on the toes and then update them. Maybe go to a live person event first and then change the picture. So they're like, "I didn't know you were blonde now," and then change it after, just to keep
S-
them guessing.
yeah, that
It's a
creates
new
intrigue,
strategy.
like a female James Bond
Yes.
in
Uh,
business.
yes. So some of the tips that you've given today are you've gotta comment, 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 and if you're gonna be posting, it helps to comment for 15 minutes, then put your post out there. Now, if you're strapped for time or you really don't love hanging out in social media, what could you do in 30 minutes a day on
If you only
LinkedIn?
have 30 minutes a day, you should just engage. And there's three groups of people I recommend engaging with. Engage with thought leaders, your peers in your space, and then potential clients or customers. So focus on those three. And the most powerful group there is probably often it's your peers. It can be people who do the exact same work as you or just people who do similar work. I network with a lot of social media managers and SEO and a lot of other SEO writers and journalists. Those are great connections to have, and those are some of the most powerful connections you can make.
And if I'm commenting with some folks, like we're commenting together, if we're not really competitors, but we kind of do the same thing, we're not going to lose business if we're commenting on each other's, right? There's enough to go around.
No, there's plenty to go around.
Okay. So share the comments in wealth. How special do these comments need to be?
I would recommend making it 1 to 3 sentences. Don't feel like you need to overcomplicate. Try to resist the urge to just like heap blanket praise. That's kind of a joke, is that people are like, "You said it, sister." And I do this too sometimes. I'm like, "You nailed this." But because you're just supporting a really, well written, point. But it's nice to share something personal, like, "Oh, this just happened to me." It does not have to be anything fancy. And I would say read some of the other comments to get a feel. And it will feel awkward at first because you don't know people. It literally feels like you're walking up to a conversation where you don't know anyone and you're like, "My dog did the same thing last week." Feels really out of place, but I promise you it's not. You're doing the right thing.
And George's comment, the comment before you, he didn't know the guy posting either. And he's talking about his cat. So go ahead and talk about your dog.
Yes. Post a picture of your dog. That's like the cheapest way to go viral, probably, cute animal pics.
Yeah. I want more of those in my feed. So please, everybody. At least once a day, I want to see a cute dog or cat or goat.
Yeah.
Break up the feed. All right. I've learned a ton. There are a lot of takeaways that I'm going to start practicing myself. And I hope all of you do as well. If somebody needs help or wants to start with an audit, is that something that you can help with?
Yeah, I have a free audit that I'm excited to give away to everyone who's interested, where I will spend 5 minutes just going over your account. I'm going to send you a loom talking about what's jumping out, what looks really good, what you can tweak, and it's very actionable and positive and just about moving you forward today, because I know it's a lot to think about investing in a new platform. And LinkedIn specifically, there's something about it that makes you want to stay a wallflower, and I want to help people get up onto the dance floor.
I've joined the dance floor in the last year, and it's a lot more fun. I have friends all over the world now. So
Yeah.
here we go. I've got a new popcorn buddy. So this is
What is your favorite type of popcorn? I didn't even ask.
So when I was really, really poor, I would eat canned beans or popcorn. And my dog would, I didn't even have dog food. I'd give him popcorn. So if he ever hears popcorn going, he's like, but I would make it on the stove with like a kettle thing and
Oh,
olive oil, garlic, salt, cayenne is awesome. Black pepper. Or I don't know. If I see smart food on TV, I'm like, why don't I have that every day? There's really not a bad. I don't like the cheese and chocolate mix that I don't know, the Midwest does some sort of
oh, it's cheese and caramel.
yeah. I
Yes.
I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm a big my go-to. I used to eat a bag of popcorn every day whenever I lived at home still. Um, from Target, they sell these giant boxes of Target brand butter popcorn, and the flavor is butter, not movie theater butter, butter.
Okay.
And it is such a good value if you get the huge box. Every time my sister's like, I can tell that you're coming home because mom has 100 bags of popcorn in the pantry.
Bring an extra a rolly bag home just to fill up.
I will be now. Now
Yeah.
with my empire brewing just on the horizon. Yes.
I'm so excited for this. We could
Thank you
have a
for the
whole global
enthusiasm.
community. Little people who do logos can help you. We've got a whole group of folks that can pull together who love popcorn to
Here we
get
go.
this out.
Cold pitch me. You know what? Most people are like, don't just cold pitch me your service as it relates to a popcorn kiosk. And I'm not even joking. I'm very interested.
If you want to start franchising it over here, let me know. As soon
All
as
right. Stop number 1. Yeah.
okay. So we've got our LinkedIn profiles. We're not putting too much stock in our company pages, but our personal profiles, we're going to get those super fired up. We're going to comment. We're going to start putting real posts out there. And then if you need help, all the links below, we're going to put some influencer links there and how to reach out to Kayla. I appreciate you and sharing all of your wisdom here today.
This was so fun. I can't wait. Everyone should connect with me from the show, but send me a message because I don't accept connection requests without a message. So just let me know that you listen to the show, and I would love to connect with you.
Awesome. Talk to you soon.